Are you an aficionado of the tiny keyboard? Are you in need of keycap for that tiny keyboard? Well, today we are going to seek and see what group buys are available so that a year and a half, maybe, it's good to expect delays, your tiny keyboard will be outfitted with keycap and all will be well. So stay tuned.
Welcome back, fellow keyboard degenerates. If your keyboards cause confused screaming and you need some keycaps, you might be in the right place. Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to so much talk about keycaps as much as we're going to be talking about tiny coffee mugs from Belize. Don't worry, that was just some type of sick, cruel joke, not to offend you tiny coffee mug enthusiasts out there. You keep doing you. Rock on. Now the keyboard I'm using today is actually going to be the PCB that I used for the Kale Hot Swap socket video. God, that is a little bit of a mouthful. And as in its current state, of course it has MBK blank keycaps because the printed ones haven't come in yet, but that's going to go on my other chalk CRKBD. That is also outfitted with, of course, Hot Swap PCB and Kale dark yellow chalk switches. And you might notice that I still have the protectors on the OLED screens as well as no actual acrylic screen protectors on there yet because I've just been too lazy and haven't ordered any. I might just do that right after I do this. But let's go ahead and get the trick ass bitch with too many keys out of the way real fast. This is actually kind of unique. I usually record the intro after reviewing all the keycap sets, so I'm actually not sure if we have any that are not 40 friendly, but we'll find out. I'll leave this in if I don't cut it. But you know, that would probably take too much time. You don't really necessarily want to hear that, and I'm going to be preaching to the choir anyway, so let's go ahead and just skip over all that silliness and let's get to ripping apart other people's hard work and effort to bring us wonderfully colored and imaginative, overpriced pieces of molded plastic. Oh, I'm an enabler though, so you know, I'm partly to blame. Alright, so our first keycap set we're going to be taking a look at in this episode is going to be S.A. Ramses. And S.A. Ramses started on the 16th of April and is running through the 14th of May. And since S.A. Ramses is, of course, an S.A. keycap set, that means that we're going to have modifiers and alphas already separated just kind of by default. Now, taking a look here, looks like our alpha keys are going to be about $55. Not too bad, not too bad. And we also have separate ortho and 40s kits. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ortho kits here first, see what we have. Okay, so taking a look here, looks like we are satisfying also the Prionic keyboard and potentially also like a Lily 58 or like a Helix, something like that. Got all the 50% Ergo keyboards just absolutely leaving me right now. But we have a row 1 here. On row 2, we are short an escape key, which is going to let some people down. We do have a tab key, as well as a backspace. Row 3, we're replacing a potential tab or control with a code key. We also have escape and apostrophe as well, not including a row 3 enter key. So it does appear like we are going with bog standard, straight from the factory OLKB layout here. Row 4, we have a 1-unit shift, of course, and enter in 2 different colors. And row 3, we have control, an FN key, super, alt, lower, raise, left, down, right, up. And we also have an extra control, alt, super, as well as a meta key. We also have 2 different flavors of both dual 1-unit space-bars as well as one of each colorway 2-unit space-bars. God, that is not how you should be saying that. I speak English natively. This is kind of embarrassing. And that is going for $55. So if you're an ortho user and you don't have anything staggered, that might have you covered for around about 100-ish, give or take a wee bit. Now let's go and take a look here at the 40s kit, and, well, we don't have space bars. Mind you, the 40s kit is... That's not right, is it? $45. Okay. All right. Okay, so row 2, we have a 1-unit escape, 2 different colors for 1-unit backspaces, oh, and 2 different colors for 175 backspaces. Row 3, we have 2 1¼ unit tabs, 1½ unit enter, and a 175 enter. Row 4, we have 1¼ shift and 1½ shift, even though the vast majority of staggered 40% keyboards, including everybody's golden child, the minivan, uses 175 for the left-handed shift key. That is not a good staggered 40s kit right there. as well as not having any bottom row modifiers or space bars to go along with that. Now, mind you, this is 45 bucks. I don't particularly like the kit for my use, but that's not bad. That's 45 bucks, and that's just kind of a slap in the face. So let's see how much we'll have to spend to get some of these things that we need. Let's see, are these modifiers? Okay, so 84 bucks, 85 bucks if we want some bottom row modifiers. We have to buy the TKL kit. That's nice. It's always pleasant. And space bars are 40 bucks, and they give us 1 1/4, 175, 2 unit, 225, and 275 in 2 different colors. And so if we were going to go with a staggered 40s kit, what was that? That's 55. You're looking at about 140 bucks. Though, if you're an aligned ortho ergo user, again, I use whatever you want. It's just poking some fun here. You're looking at about 100 bucks. Now, if we're going to go for everything, if we want to get as much coverage as possible with this kit, which mind you, this kit is severely lacking. Well, let me make sure. Hold on just a moment. We do pick up a 175 shift. I'm not going to... It's pricey. And, to get things covered with this, you'd have to spend a bunch of money for a horizontally staggered 40% keyboard. I guess that's, you have to buy the TKL kit for your real keyboard, if you can't hear the disdain in my voice. And then, for your fun little keyboard you put up on your mantle or something, you can go with the 40s kit, I guess. So with that in mind, I say Ramses is going to get... I'm going to split this one up. It's going to be 40 all right for ortho, because now I am including the 1.5 and 1.5 space bars in the dual 2-unit space bars. Got the 2-unit space bars, but that doesn't have anything for the 1.5s. And it's going to get 40 okay for staggered 40s. Okay, after the overly long-winded first keycap set we look at, it's always a little too long, we have GMK Seafarer. And GMK Seafarer started on the 16th of April and is running through the 16th of May. Of course, as typical GMK fashion, we have a base kit that has either TKL or full-size keycap coverage here, and it's 125 bucks, which really isn't the worst thing for GMK. It's kind of in that middling price point for a base kit, but something that has a numpad is actually not too bad. Of course, it's all just navy blue and bone? Eggshell? I don't know, I'm colorblind. Mildly colorblind. So, taking a look here, we have bog standard GMK. We're not really picking up anything other than we do have a 1 1/4 shift as well as a 175, which goes along with a 125 goes along with our ISO compatibility. Bottom row modifiers can be pretty well covered. I would always love to see an extra FN key. And we also have 2 different colors for arrows. So if you are an ortho user or an ergo user and you like to use arrows as FN keys, as would be my alternative because I don't like raised and lowered keys, personal preference, you can slide those guys, but we don't get really anything extra or unexpected in there. Going to the 40s kits, it is $37. I am going to take that penny. And taking a look here at it, we have 1 unit escapes, 2 different colors for that. We have a 1 unit tab, a 1 unit backspace, 175 unit backspace to go along with that. Actually, not too bad overall there. Row 3, we have a 1 unit escape, a 1 unit enter. Okay, but we also have that multi-use key there instead of a 1 unit tab and a 1 unit control, which I would have preferred to see myself, but it's GMK and I probably would have made this kit cost $75. And then we have a 1 1/4 unit tab as well as a 1 1/4 unit enter, a 1.5 unit enter, and a 175 unit enter in 2 different colors. I'd like to see it doubled up on each one of those. However, at the same time, it's GMK and GME hasn't Plutoed on us yet, so there's that. Row 4, we do have a 1 unit enter as well as a 1 unit shift, a 1.5 unit shift. But we do have, hold on just a second, I always forget about this here. Since it's GMK, we should have a we have a 175 in the base kit, so we're covered there, unlike SA Ramses. And we have 2 1 unit space bars, 2 unit, 225, and 275 unit space bars. Not the worst 40s kit I've ever seen. And that is coming in under $40. Thank you for that. That seems like that's not much to ask for, but surprisingly it is. Now, since it doesn't have another 2 unit spacebar or a 1.5 unit spacebar, I think I'm going to leave out the 175s for now, just because I know those are popping up places. But I'm going to have to kind of knock this down. It's still going to get a 40 pretty good with this kit. Well, hold on. I say that. But you have to always take into consideration the price. 125, 37. Hey, that's still under 180 bucks. We'll go ahead and give it to it. So 40 pretty good for this one. Barely. Because of the space bars, I might knock it down. We'll see how I feel while I'm editing this. If my voice goes really off kilter there, I've changed my mind. And I'm talking too much again. So let's go on to the next one. All right, and we come to a DSS keycap set. DSS handwork. Could have used an I or a Y in there. And DS handwork started on the 21st of April and is running through the 21st of May. Now, DSS, the more sculpted cousin of DSA, tends to be a little more 40s focused. So hopefully we'll have this one in the bag. We do have some additional kits, numpads, space bar kit that we hopefully won't need. We'll see. And some artisans. I actually don't mind those artisans. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this kit. And if you are a night mode user, I've just blinded you for probably the third time in this episode. Now, taking a look here, we have, well, it does extend a little bit more than just the 40s kit, but let's go and just focus on 40s primarily. So, row 2, we have a 1-unit escape, as well as 175, 1.5, and 125 unit backspace, as well as a 1-unit delete key. Now, I'm a little disappointed we don't have a 1-unit backspace in this. However, they are icon modifiers, so we can kind of fill in some gaps unless you really just need the purple in there. I would have preferred the blue myself, but I'm a big fan of the color blue. Going over to row 3, we don't have a 1-unit escape for row 3. Again, these are sculpted. They're not uniform profile like DSA is. So that adds a little bit of a letdown. Again, icon modifiers, you can probably stick that page down in there and go, oh, that's about the right color for that. But we do have a 1 1/4 tab, a 1-unit tab, a control, I think is what that's supposed to be, as well as some caps locks, but I mean, we're a little bit past that. And we have a 175, 1.5, 125, and 1-unit enter key in there, as well as ISO, but, of course, I've been seeing some ISO 40s kits, Of course, you lose your top row backspace or miscellaneous on there, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm still going to judge, but who am I to judge? As well as we got a funky colored apostrophe in there for some ortho fun. Now, going down to row 4, we do have a 1.5 unit, 175 unit, as well as a 1/4, and a 1-unit shift key, and a 1-unit row 4 enter as well. That's always nice to see. And therefore, people who buy planes but don't get into QMK. I haven't found the configurator yet. I'm kidding. Kind of. And then row 3, I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot in dark, say we're covered with bottom row modifiers. So let's go ahead and take a closer look here at these space bars. We have 2 1-unit space bars, 2-unit, 225, 275 unit space bar. Now, does not have any 1.5 unit space bar, so we do technically have 1.5 unit bottom row modifiers to use for something like a C or KPD, which, I mean, it's only slightly popular in that its own little niche in a way. And we're also missing a second 2-unit space bar, so Curia can't necessarily go longer on both sides for at least 2 of those space bars if you don't want to split them in a film cluster. You know how that goes if you're a Curia user. That's a pain you've lived with for a while. But this one, yes, it doesn't have the space bars, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 40 friendly because there is a focus on 40 with this kit. It's a little pricey at 140 bucks, but I mean, it's giving you kind of a lot for your money in that case. And I've always enjoyed the DSA style molding we get from Signature Plastic. DSS a little different, but molded in a similar way. So DSS handwork would get a 40 OK if this was a naming contest, because that should be handiwork. But DSS handwork is going to get a 40 friendly. I'm going to give it a break on the space bars. And let's just take a look here at the space bar kit here before I forget. We get 175, but we still don't have any 1.5, and we get a 3-unit. Yeah, okay. That's 15 bucks, not too bad. And now we come to GMK Sunset Surfing. A little bit of alliteration there. And GMK Sunset Surfing started on the 27th of April and it's running through the 28th of May. And of course, GMK keycaps at 150 bucks for the base kit. Let's see if Let's see if the 40s kit is like $5. That might save it here. But taking a quick scan here, pretty much bog standard GMK. We do get 2 different colors for the arrows, though usually, as is the case with the darker keycaps, the lighter printing on there, the alternate color modifiers, these are a little, in my opinion, a little icky a lot of times. It's just something that's kind of hard to get right. I feel like they should always go a little bit lighter or darker than they do. Reminds me of pumpkin spice for some reason. But bog standard GMK in that case. And the 40s kit is $50. Oh, this is $200. $200 for this. This better be a halfway decent kit. Or so help me. Okay, so it looks like we are doing a little bit of pandering to our 50% brethren there. I'm kidding. Kind of. And we do have a row 1 backspace, but coming down to row 2, the more civilized row, we have a 1-unit tab, a 1-unit backspace, 2 different colors for escape, a pipe or backslash, and a 175 backspace. Come down to row 3, we have a 1-unit tab, 1.25 unit tab, a 1 unit, a 1.5, 175 unit enter in 2 different colors, as well as 2 escape keys on row 3. Okay, we're going to move on. He's a bit confused, but he's got the spirit. And then we also have 2 1-unit shifts, as well as 2 row 4 enters, 1 in different colors. We have raise, lower, lock, couture, and ult on there. Now, we're missing space bars. Now, I didn't see any space bars in the base kit, so we're going to spend an extra $25 in this one. And I'm just going to guess we have a 2-unit, 225, 275. I think that's 275. It might be a 3-unit, 1.25. And we have 2 1-units, and we have those long boys down there. And that's going to blow way past the $180 limit. And while this is an all-right 40s kit, they're making you spend extra for space bars in 2021. That's happening. So I'm going to give this one a 40 okay. A lot of it's the price. I like the 40s kit for the modifiers that it gives you, but, shorting you on the space bars, and you could have cut out the alternate colors for the inners and the escape, and maybe the 2 escapes, one's good, but 2 is a bit much. GMK Arch is the next one on the list, and GMK Arch started on the 30th of April, and it is running through the 30th of May. Now, this one, I was a little excited when I saw this one. Actually, caught my eye on Reddit when they announced that it went live. And I'll get to that here in just a second, but let's go ahead and do our usual bullshit before we actually get to the important part of this conversation. $128 for the base kit. And we have some tickling of 40% in here. We have a 1.25 tab, as well as the shift keys. We also have a 1.5 enter and a 175 backspace. So in the base kit in and of itself, if we're not pretty much right on here for minivan coverage or similar keyboard layouts, we're pretty close. And we are missing a row 2 escape, you cheap bastards. I don't mind this gray. It's a little bit more of a stark gray. I get kind of tired of the, like the beige and the white and slightly off-white and like lighter gray and, the white on black, black on white, and pretending like it's completely different. Though I do understand. I do have half a degree in architecture. Don't ask why it's half. Anyways, pretty much box standard GMK, but we have some 40 focusing here, like minivan, except they didn't put the escape in there or any space bars. Okay, that's fine, because we have this actually kind of impressive 40s kit. Now, we're going to keep in mind the minivan coverage, because this is an all-encompassing 40s ergo ortho kit going on there, and it is $158. But that's not too bad for GMK when it's a complete kit. And so we do get alphas, we have numbers, but more importantly, we have some 1.5 units. So if you use a 1.5 inner backspace control, we have something there. Of course, it's a row 4 enter. That's 1.5, but okay, we'll move with it. And we also have bottom row modifiers. Looks like we have decent coverage with those, as long as it's a 1.25 or a 1 unit. 1.5 users, we got control and a code on there, so you got a little bit of something. Let's bump it on down here to the next section. Row 1, same joke I've been making for the entire video. Row 2, we have a 1 unit tab, escape, in 2 different colors. 175 backspace, okay, as well as a 1 unit backspace. Row 3 we have, is that a caps lock? Well, that's going to be a not 40 friendly for me. We have a 1 unit tab, a 1 1/4 unit tab, a 225 space thingy, FJ, as an alternative to the bars. You get some dishes in there. 175 inner, 1.5 inner, as well as a 1 unit inner in 2 different colorways, and an apostrophe key there. Row 4, we have 1 unit shift, 175 unit shift, 1.5 unit shift. We don't have a 1 1/4 unit shift. You just had to fuck it there, didn't you? And we also have another 1 unit shift as well. Row 4 platinum, we do have a 1 1/4 shift. I'm going to cut that. We'll find out. I might leave it in. I hate myself, so I don't mind embarrassing myself either. But we do have a 1 1/4 control, alt. We got 2 of those guys. We have some 1 unit. Well, we have a 1.5 unit code, and the 1 units we're pretty well squared away on there. However, if you use like a 1 1/4 FN key, something like that, you're SOL, but you would have been SOL anyways on most of these sets. We do have 2 1 unit space bars, a 2 unit in 2 different colors, 2 units, 2 different colors, a long boy over there, probably just pissed me off, and a bunch of vertical miscellaneous keys we can play with, and 2 different colorways for arrows. This, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 40 friendly for a couple reasons. It's a 40 and ergo focus kit. While it kind of fucks over UT47 users, it should have a good chunk of people decently covered. I would have loved to see a delete key, or just kind of a nice alternative, though I believe we also have a 1 unit blank key kind of slide in there for that, for row 2. But I'm going to give it 40 friendly. Just out of principle. That is a kit that focuses on us that like the more civilized version of the keyboard. So GMK Arch is 40 friendly. Okay, that's going to finish up this episode. Is it 40 friendly? If you got something out of this episode, please do like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to. Nothing, nobody's forcing you to do anything, or else. And please make sure to tune in for the next episode. This is a bi-monthly series. Try to have the episodes coming out somewhere around within 3 weeks of the 1st and the 15th of every single month. There's always an attempt, and I fail at it every time. And more importantly, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and keep doing that voodoo that you do so well. That's an old reference. People even get that? God, my bones hurt.